In this video, I'm going to share with you the email campaign options we have in VBout. I'm not talking about email automation. I'm just talking about the old-fashioned newsletter that you blast to your audience. On the left panel under your email, you're going to see the campaigns page. And you can see on the top you have email campaigns, you have templates, the repository of your designs, and you have file manager. You don't have to have your templates in the email template section first. You can simply create them from scratch. On this view, you can see your volume of sending. What does your plan limit? What is the plan limit? How many contacts you have, and what's your volume so far. You have on here all your campaigns with some filters options. So you can say, show me all the campaigns that are A/B testing type, or the status as scheduled sent, or even they have a process of chunk sending or normal. Okay. You can include subject line. If you're using coupons, we have a built-in coupons feature. You can just use the coupon redeem option. Okay. On the right side, you will see analytics, which can be clicked. This is a campaign that was sent already. You can see that with the label. And here you have copying a campaign, public preview, and so on. Once you create the first few campaigns, it's easy to copy them over, so that should not be an issue. Most of the time, you spend a little bit more on the first campaign or two, and the rest is an easy copy. I'm going to create one from the top right. I'm going to give it a name for my reference. So let's just say this is the VBout certification example, right? And I always say make the naming really adequate so in the future you can find out exactly what that email is, even if it's a year from now. Now, I'm going to be covering these options, which are really, really important to understand. You can simply stick to regular campaign, no testing whatsoever, and do the process right here in normal sending. Or you can activate your A/B campaign type in tandem with the chunk sending or without. So these are independent. The process is different than type. I would say A/B testing and process normal are the best option for you if you want to send one-time blast. Or you can do regular and then chunk send it. Or you can even do A/B testing and chunk send it. Okay. Let's just look at the A/B testing for now. You can test subject lines, and that meaning two different ideas of subject lines. You can test content of the email. That could be one email with a header image, another without a header image. And if you do content, you'll see on the design step right here, if I click it, I'm going to have the option to design two different emails. Subject line is the most common, and then the content. I really like the content because sometimes we put like a banner image, and another email we keep it bare text. So this is a way to experiment that. Obviously, we have additional options here that you can look into. And then we go into the pre-header section. Pre-header is that preview that comes before your email. It typically looks like this. So it's an extension of your subject line, because I always recommend making your subject line small, positive, less than 6 keywords. And then the pre-header should extend on that. Okay. So coupon inside, let's say. Okay. And now we have the subject line. Again, this was the pre-header, and the subject line is right below. So the subject line here, you can say subject line A could be check out this crazy offer. And another one could be, hey, name, and I have personalization offer options, which I'll cover in another module. This is for you, just to kind of validate which one of these is going to trigger more eyeballs. And let's just say a little collision here. Okay. I really like emojis. Emojis tend to grab the attention in a very busy inbox. The from name, you can say rich from. I really like when people send from their own inbox. The email, make sure you verified your email here. So if I do leadbuffer.com, this should disappear. Otherwise, if you send from an email that hasn't been verified, or a domain that hasn't been verified, most likely we will replace it with our own type of email. Okay. Reply to. And by the way, from and reply could also be personalized with short codes if you have some custom needs to send to different people from different sales teams. But that's a little bit advanced options that we have. If you have some compliance needs with your, I don't know, financial institution, and you want to send a black carbon copy to an audit software, you can do that. But that's really rare and only needed if you have some audit requirements. Now here I have A/B testing, and A/B testing is where I'm going to split my target list into 3 different buckets. Okay, very important. I have 2 tests. Group A is going to get subject line A. Group B is going to get subject line B. So if I take an example of 1,000 emails, A represents 150 out of 1,000, B 150 out of 1,000. And C, which is 700, is just going to be waiting to see which one of these 2 subject lines is going to be the winner. So what determines the winner is going to be the open rates. Obviously, I'm testing subject lines, and the one that has better open rates is the winner. And I'm giving people a certain amount of time, which is right here. I recommend 3 to 4 hours because people's habits of opening emails have changed a lot, right? People are opening emails over 4-hour cadences or 3 hours cadences throughout the day. So give them enough time to open. So the way the system will operate in this case, we're gonna send 2 different buckets, 2 different subject lines, wait 4 hours, and we're gonna determine which one of these got us the best opens, and accordingly send to the 700 remaining, 70%. You can control everything in here yourself. This is your own playground and your own testing metrics. The second option we have is chunk sending. I really love this option because it stretches your sending over time. Let's keep the example of 1,000 emails, right? I know it's a low volume, but some people, they like to drip 100 per hour over the course of 10 hours. So back of the napkin calculation will tell me that I'm going to start at 8 and perhaps just cut off at 6. I can run it every day until it finishes and send 100 per hour. Now you can adjust this based on the volume you're targeting. You can increase this volume daily, so if you're spilling over to multiple days, you can say tomorrow increase it by 10 or 20% and so on. And you can cap it at a limit per day. Now this has a lot of different benefits. Number 1, you can warm up your IPs and warm up your reputation this way. So instead of blasting 10, 50, or 100,000 at once, you're sending smaller chunks over time. 2, you are averaging the best open rates during that time frame of sending. So the best open rates will always average out in this case. 3, if you're sending to a new list, this will allow you to get in real time the results of those lists. And that's quite important because you want to be able to turn it off immediately if you have some bad signals. For example, you might have 5-10% bounce rates, which is really bad. Or if you have 5% complaint rate, that's awful, right? You want to pause it and maybe run your data again through some sort of a scrubbing system like Never Bounce or other. Okay. So these are the options that we have in the email. It's really important to understand this because it sets the beginner from the experienced email marketer. Knowing what options you have when it comes to email is quite important, and in VBOT will let you really take control of how you send as well as how you test.